All right, fat loss during lockdown. It's not all doom and gloom. And look, I know a lot of people are going through a really hard time right now. I know a lot of people are missing the gym, but I really think this is where we do need to shift our perspective and look at, right, what can we build on and what can we control rather than focusing on what we have lost. Despite everything that's happening right now, there are a few positives of staying at home a little bit more and having a little bit more time. So I want you guys to shift your focus and focus on the little habits that you can improve on and you can build upon, that you can implement, when everything gets back to normal. All right. So it's about building on these small little habits, which, as we know, these habits, if you are consistent with them long term, these get results. So the first little positive I want to highlight is increased sleep. Who has had a few more Z's since working from home? Who has had a few more Z's since not having to get up, rush the kids off to school, and have to just, be in a frantic panic, and as a result have to get up earlier to get themselves organized? This is a massive thing. Since you guys are working from home a little bit more, staying at home, you can really get your sleep pattern schmick. You've got a bit more time up your sleeve. Make sure that you do put your phone 30 minutes down before you have some shut-eye. Making sure that, you are planning your meals in a really good way. So you are full when you go to sleep and therefore get quality sleep. Maybe you're benefiting from the fact that you just don't have to get up as early. So as a result, you have more energy and then can think more clearly and work better throughout the day, right? It's a really good time to kind of experiment, with your sleeping patterns. Do you sleep a little bit better when you meditate beforehand? Do you sleep better with more carbs in your tummy, like what I do? So, use this to really question, your routine, and maybe you do prefer training in the afternoon rather than the morning. All those types of things, because as we know, if you are low on Z's, you'll feel like you'll want to eat more because you feel tired constantly. You won't be training as hard. You'll feel a lot more stressed, and you just won't be thinking as clearly throughout the day. So your work, quality might go down. So this is why sleep is so important. So use this time to really knuckle down on your sleep routine. Okay. Number two, a supportive freaking community. How often have I gone on about the fact that what you surround yourself with and who you'll surround yourself with literally determines a lot of your actions. So say if you have a few friends who are peer pressuring you to drink more than what you know you should, practicing saying no, or if you need to, say goodbye to those people, they aren't serving you. There is no better time than now to start saying no. There's no better excuse to people if you don't want to talk to them as much as you, or that they're not really helping your headspace in the best way. Say no. Be like, man, I've got a lot of stuff to do for work at home right now. Sorry, I don't want to hear your shit. And that's totally fine. And find another amazing online community that can help you really knuckle down on this and help you, get a really good online home program, or help you understand how to, cut the emotional eating out of your life. There's no better time to really surround yourself with, a good online support crew, have someone in your corner to help you, guide you through this, and really practice your no's. So supportive online community, huge one during this time. Okay. Third point, and this is a big one. You'll have more time to prep your food, and more time to train. Now, You know I'm all about macros and flexible dieting. You know that I do not believe in written diet plans, rigid plans, anything like that, because they're just not sustainable long term. Like, you think about the current situation that we're in right now. I mean, you could go to the supermarket and there might only be a frozen pizza left. Flexible dieting and counting macros enables you to still be accountable for that and therefore still get results. Not only that, building a better relationship with food because you're not labeling foods as good and bad, right? So this gives you a good chance to start tracking your food. It gives you a good chance to start understanding food a little bit more. Gives you a good chance to, decide, right, like, how can I get protein in with breakfast? Experiment and understand what your food flow is, which I go on a lot about with my gals and in my online course, Fierce Flexible Dieter. Like, do you prefer using most of your carbs at night, in the morning? What's something that you can do to boost up your protein, all right? So these are huge ones, more times to kind of experiment with that. And not only that, training, like movement wise, like how long do you like to train for? Are you able to stick to it? Do you have the long-term goal in mind? You know, there's a big difference between just a session and being able to keep consistent, right? So do you have a solid program that you can stick to and not getting bored with? You know what I mean? So more important than ever to have a coach in your corner. As I've preached about before, this is how you become your best self, essentially. People pointing out and your coach pointing out your blind spots, all right? Last point is a huge one as well. You gals have more time up your sleeve. You know, you might be getting up later, a bit more Z's, whatever. It's also a really good time to self-reflect. Come on, Ellie, get your words out. Self-reflect. So, for example, if you do have a blowout or an emotional binge, what triggered this? Really start to know yourself. Like, did you start getting really spinny with your thoughts and start thinking about the worst case scenario and not when you weren't able to slow yourself down? Did someone say something that maybe triggered you and you felt like you needed a buffer with food? Did you not plan your day and go for a long time without eating, essentially starving yourself, and then it just raided the fridge a couple of hours later? You know what I mean? Start to really know your habits and how you go about handling things. And if you are emotionally buffering, or, why you didn't train that day, or, whatever. If there's someone in your world that maybe isn't serving you, maybe you should let them leave this group. Maybe you're better off without them. So a really good time to reassess your life and how you can do things differently, right? All these things, they all add up to help you to get you to where you want to be, right? Improved sleep means less cravings, means you feel less stress, which means you won't overeat as much as you usually would, which means you can stay more consistent, which means you have an improved relationship with food, which means you'll feel more confident in your clothes, and it all trickles in to one another. If you surround yourself with an amazing online supportive community of gals, like, you can see how you'll be more consistent with this, and they'll help you through the problems and the hurdles. You can see how when you use this time efficiently, when you find meals that you like and enjoy and are hitting your protein goals, obviously, when all this gets back to normal, you'll be like, right, bang, bang, bang. I know my go-tos. And of course, knowing your mind, self-talk, slowing down, understanding when you might buffer or feel anxious or feel unhappy, and understanding those thoughts, and slowing down and self-talking back to yourself so that you can coach yourself through situations and be really onto how to build a better headspace, all right? Okay, so I know there's a lot of chaos right now. I know there's a lot happening, but you can see how you can use this time to serve you. You can use this time and come out better than you ever have before. So please, I have an amazing community of gals who are supporting each other through this entire thing. And if you would love to join my Queen team, or if you have any questions about coaching, training, food, anything like that, please, I am your woman. I would love to hear from you. Send me a DM, send me an email, send me an Facebook message. I don't mind, whatever. I'm a talkative gal, and yeah, I would totally love to hear from you. Stay safe and have a lovely afternoon. Talk soon.